Now, you won't believe you can make over $10,000 a month selling this, or even selling any of this. Now, crazily, none of these products is yours. You want to know how? Make sure to watch this video till the end. There's thousands of products in Africa are in huge demand abroad. And these are products that are very cheap right here in Africa. Now, in this video, I'm going to show you how to build a system that will allow you to make well over $10,000 if you follow the steps that I'm going to be showing you. Now, my name is Unduka Ude. Welcome to this channel. In this channel, I teach mainly African businesses how to start a profitable export business so you can earn in dollars.
We've done more than 60 to 80 million worth of transactions. The orders are coming in and coming in and coming in.
And sincerely, ever since then, the testimony of our customer is that, wow, you now have wonderful package, because most of our lost customers are now coming back.
Now, a lot of you will probably be wondering, oh, what is he talking about? How can I from Africa make over $10,000? Yes, I've wondered that even for a long time before I moved over to the USA. Let me give you a little story. You see, when I was small, right, I used to love going to my grandmom's house. She had a very big compound and there were lots of soursop trees on that compound. Some of you will know what soursop trees are. The leaves, very juicy fruit. Now, for the first 1 hour, whenever we went there, we had to pack all the leaves, load it in a wheelbarrow. And it used to be fun, we're jumping into the wheelbarrow with leaves and then we have to burn them. In 2014, my mom came over for cancer treatment. And after her treatment, the nurses told her to be drinking dried soursop leaves made into tea. It has a huge medicinal effect. Now, I looked all over the US for that product. I didn't see it until I went to Amazon and I saw this product selling for crazy amounts. And I was like, imagine how much dollars I have thrown burning those huge quantities of soursop leaves. And this is what I'm talking about. There are lots of items all around us here in Africa that is in huge demand abroad. If you are somebody who already has a business, you haven't started exporting and you're wondering, how do I determine that right product to export? How do I determine that product that is in huge demand? This video is for you. Make sure you watch it till the end. Now, if you are doing a 9-to-5 job, you are looking for that opportunity to start something small that you can quickly grow and then leave the job, this video is also for you. Now, if you are somebody who has capital, you have the money sitting down somewhere, you don't know what to do with it, make sure to watch this video till the end. Now, we're talking about earning in dollars. Obviously, you can't be paid in dollars if you're selling your products locally. It has to be products that you export to the US, Canada, UK, or any of the Western world. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. How to make that money in dollars. What is the first thing you need to do if you want to build a profitable export business? A lot of people think that, if you need to be successful, build a business that is going to make you a lot of money, you need to have a lot of capital. Now, some people will say, no, you need to have the best possible product out there. And some of you will still say, oh, no, you need to have the lowest price of all. But you know what I've noticed after a long time, analyzing businesses? The most important thing you need if you want to build a profitable business is what I call starving buyers, right? What do I mean by starving buyers? It means you need to have a product that people are looking for, a product that once you put it out there in the market, there is a rush for it. You have thousands, 10,000, 100,000 people looking for that product. That is the most important thing. I have seen this happen many times. I remember a time I went for an event in Germany and the venue of the event was very, very far from town. If you had to go to town to eat during lunch, you have to spend about $20 going with Uber and another $20 coming back. Now, what we now had, there were some, stands selling hot dog, and these guys were selling a small piece of hot dog for 20 euros. It was crazy because right in town, you can get that same hot dog for just 5 euros. But because it was going to cost you $40 going to and fro, we were there, we were hungry, we were the starving buyers. So what did they do? They had to sell the hot dog 4 times the price. And that's how it works. And you see this all the time, even in the pharmaceutical industry. I remember a couple of, probably like 5 years ago, there was a drug called the Daraprim. I can't remember the company that made it. But what happened was that the CEO of a company, Martin Shkreli or something like that, he bought the company and he took a product that was selling for about $13.50 and he started selling it for $750. And this is a product that people needed to stay alive. You had a lot of people who depended on it, but he was able to get away with it. Yes, there was a lot of outcry from various groups, human rights group, but he was able to get away with it. Why? Because he had starving buyers. The first phase, right, like I said, is for you to determine that product. Now, I'm going to show you an easy way, and it's a free way that you can use to determine the product that is in high demand, the product that so many people are looking for. We're going to be using the most popular e-commerce platform in the world, which we all know to be Amazon. Now, if people are buying a certain product in large quantities on Amazon, what it means is that there is a demand for it. They are also looking for it in stores. There are retail outlets that you can sell it to. There are wholesalers. Even some of those Amazon sellers are potential resellers that you can send this product to. So let's jump into my screen here and I'll show you how to do that. Let's take shea butter, for example. So shea butter is very common in Africa. You have so many people selling it. Now, when that product pops up, so for example, you have access to shea butter in large quantities and you've decided, okay, this is what I want to export. You've done your calculations and the shipping and everything, it works. Now, when you take a look at the screen, right, you typed in shea butter, take a look at it. Now, what I want you to look for are the number of reviews, as well as, you see, Amazon tells you the number bought, right, in the last 30 days. So this one says bought multiple times, but you also see some sections where it says how many of it has been bought in the last few days. So take a look at this. Now, number one is the review. This has 28,305 reviews. That means so many people are buying it. That is all it means, right? And from one of the studies I did, it said that only about 1 to 3% of buyers go back to review it, right? So if we assume that only 1% of buyers have gone to review this, that means about 2.8 million, because multiply that by 100, means about 2.8 million of products of this have been sold. That's a lot of money. These are products that are in demand, right? So what do we do? Is very simple. Now you can click on it to learn more. But again, like I said, because you have so many reviews and it tells you that, look at it, it says that 8,000 of this has been bought in the last 1 month. That means this company is selling about 8,000 pieces here. Now, take a look at the price that they are selling this product, $9.99. Like I told you, these people are selling 8,000 in a month. If you want to generate $10,000 a month selling a similar item, how many of these do you need to sell? You need to sell about 30 in a day. So you can do the maths, right? $10,000 over 30 days over the cost, which is 10. So you need to sell about 30 of this in a day. Now, when you get to the third stage that I'm going to be showing you, you're going to see how we're able to do that, how you are able to sell on Amazon, sell in various other channels. So again, this is the way to determine the products that are in demand. Now, there's an advanced way for you to do more analytics, and I'm going to share that with you right now. There are 2 tools that you can use. One is Jungle Scout. Like I said, Amazon gives you the real-time data of those that are buying. And if they are buying on Amazon, they are definitely buying in other stores as well. So Jungle Scout, you can use this as well to check out what is going on Amazon. You can use Helium 10. Now, I use Helium 10. That's the tool I use. This is the dashboard. So I can come here to the Helium 10 section. Now, this is not a course teaching you how to use Helium 10. I just want to show you how to run some of this analysis. So all I'll probably do is just copy, the title of the product. and I come to helium-10, I'm searching for a particular product. I'm going to search for all categories. So let me just use the advanced. It's typically easier. And then I just put title keyword, right? So, and I search. So if I search, it's going to bring out that product, right? So take a look at the product. This is exactly the same product that we're looking at. Yellow brick road, 100% raw. Yellow brick road, 100% raw. So helium-10 brings it out, and helium-10 will show us all the details of the product on a monthly basis. So now it's telling us that they look at it. It says monthly sales. They are doing about 11,666. Now they can't be doing 11,000 pieces if they are not generating massive revenue. Right, so it's very easy to see, right? This is what they are selling each one, and then here you see that their revenue is about $116,000 a month. Now, for you to hit $10,000 a month, you only need to sell about 10% of what these people are doing. And I can tell you, it's not that difficult. If you begin to learn how Amazon works, you begin to follow the processes that I'm going to talk about later on. So these are ways. Now, we could have gone back there to see if there is actually a huge demand on shea butter. We look for other products. In fact, if I go to helium-10, and I type in, let's edit the filter. And this is the beautiful thing with helium-10. It gives you a lot of options, right? So if I go back and I just say shea butter, right? So it's now I'm not just looking at one product. I want to look at so many other products out there. So it's doing the search. It plugs into Amazon and pulls out all those sales that are going on. So let's take a look at the revenue. Let's click on this to rearrange it so that the one with the highest revenue comes up. So take a look at that. Now it's telling you, right, now these are not direct shea butter, but obviously they have shea butter in them. And there's a link I can click on, and it takes me to the product. So if I click on this link, right, it takes me right to the product on Amazon. So these are wipes. Because it has shea butter in it, that's why it popped up. But that's not what we're interested in, right? We're interested in raw shea butter. So maybe I can edit my filter, and I say, instead of just shea butter, I say raw shea butter, and I click apply. Let's see how that comes up. All right, so now I have clicked on raw shea butter. Let's rearrange it so that we have the highest on top, right? So again, now we see that there are so many products doing well in the hundreds of thousands of dollars, right? So this tells me there's a huge demand for this shea butter on Amazon. And again, if there's a huge demand on Amazon, there's a huge demand in many other places. This is selling 9,000 pieces, 9,000 pieces, 9,000 pieces. This is selling 14,000 pieces, 14,000, 14,000. 11,000, 8,000. So again, there is a huge demand for anything shea butter, right? And we can also do that for other items. Very cheap. So by the time you add it, the cost of making this item may not even be up to $2, $3 here in Africa by the time you do the conversion. And look at how much it's selling. Now, when you sell on Amazon, there are obviously some charges that Amazon is going to remove, but we're not going to go into that. But the key thing is that you see that there are massive opportunities out here for this product. When you have determined that product that you want to sell, that product that you want to export, that product that you can buy for $1 in Africa and sell it for $10 in USA, the next question is, how do I deliver it to them? Now, remember, we're talking about export. So you're going to ship that product all the way from Africa right to them in the USA, UK, Canada, wherever it is going. Now, the key thing here is make sure you select a company that is reliable. Do your costing. Make sure a company that says 5 days is 5 days. I see this all the time with so many people who are trying to save $1, and because of that, they select a company that will stay 3, 4, 5 weeks at times. They've not delivered a product. Buyers abroad are finicky. Right? What do I mean by finicky? If you tell them the product is going to be delivered in 3 days and you deliver in 7 days, they won't use you again. And again, for most of the products we're talking about, these are products that people buy all the time. You can't build a successful business if you can't retain your existing buyers. Now, like I said, I have a video that talks about ways to ship to the USA in larger quantities. It's right there in the description. When you finish watching this video, make sure you go check out that video, because again, it's going to show you all the processes, the documentations and stuff that you're going to need when you are exporting to any of these countries. So again, the second step, make sure you select the right delivery company that is reliable, trustworthy, will keep to their words. And I can tell you for a fact, if you do that, you're going to be having repeat buyers that will help you build those sales from $1,000 in the first month to maybe 3, 4, 5 until you hit the $10,000 a month in export. Now, the last phase is what I call the sell phase, or I call it the expand and sell phase, right? So what is happening here? Now, you already identified that product. You've identified a reliable company to deliver. The next phase is, how do I get multiple channels to sell, right? You see, when you are trying to sell a product, you can stay on Amazon and you're going to be able to make that $10,000 a month, right? But again, the easiest way to really expand is if you are able to sell in multi-channels. You know, people are able to come to your social media, they buy the product, you have friends and family over there who are selling it. Now, I've identified 7 good ways that you can use to sell and expand your network over there. Now, number 1, you have partnership, right? What is partnership? Partnership means you partner with family and friends over there. Tell them the new business that you're doing. A lot of us have brothers, sisters, friends that are in the USA, Canada, all these places. Tell them they can be your mouthpiece. If you have sold to the first person, make sure you give them some incentive to refer you to other people. So that's partnership. Now, the next one is what I call resellers. Now, who are resellers? Resellers are people who are already selling the product in bulk and you can ship it to them. Now, a lot of these people who are resellers, they come here, they look for third-party people to supply them those products. If you look at African food, for example, what you have is that a lot of Chinese come to Africa, they buy in bulk, they buy in wholesale, then they set up a wholesale service over there in various cities all over the USA, and you have African stores coming to buy from them in wholesale, right? So you can find out who those resellers are and work with them, sell to them, right? The third phase is what I call selling to manufacturers. Obviously, you understand what that is. A lot of manufacturers for various products can be seen abroad, right? Tap into that, you know, use Google, use ChatGPT. You have solutions out there, right? You can go to ChatGPT and say, hey, I sell shea butter. You know, can you give me a list of 10 companies that buy raw shea butter in the USA? And it will give you the result. Reach out to those companies. Now, one of the things you're going to learn or you're going to see is that you may need to reach out to 20 companies to get one that is going to be interested in your product. But the key thing is that you have to keep trying. Right? You don't just, reach out to the first company and boom, you're successful, right? Now, the next phase is what I call contract manufacturing. And again, this is for those of you who manufacture the products. You know, you're going to see a lot of companies out there that want you to make the products for them and you put their name on it, right? We're looking for money. We're interested in money. We're interested in hitting that $10,000 a month. So we should not focus on, it must be my name. No, that's why the Chinese are very successful. The Chinese will manufacture any product for you. Tell them whatever name you want to put on it, they will do it for you, right? So again, contract manufacturing is one that works a lot. Now, you have another process called conferences. I don't recommend this because it involves you traveling abroad. If you look at the US and most countries, they always have conferences where they sell, advertise. They have vendors and buyers that buy different types of product. You have cosmetic conference, you have food conference. For food, you have the World Food and Beverage Show. I think it holds every October or thereabout in the USA. Send search for some of these conferences. If you have the opportunity to travel, go there. I can tell you, you're going to see a lot of potential buyers. Now, you also have the one that we've been talking about, the ability to sell on platforms, e-commerce platforms like Amazon, eBay. Amazon is obviously the number one, but again, it takes a lot of learning to really understand and know how to sell on Amazon. So again, if you start today and you're selling on Amazon, it may take you about 3-4 months before you hit maybe $2,000 a month, right? But if as you're selling on Amazon, you're learning the Amazon network, you are also looking at other channels, like I have said, I've mentioned, you are surely going to hit that $10,000 quickly. Again, remember, the key is what I call multi-channel selling. You know, if you can sell 2,000 to this, 3,000 here, 3,000 here, 2,000 here, you will hit that target. Again, why? Because those products are in demand and you have shown that you can deliver. I'm not going to go in depth into these 7 ways, but let me give you a couple of hints now. Selling online, right? Using social media to sell. There are a lot of easy ways you can do that. We have customers that use unique ways to sell. So what do? They go to Facebook, right? And they search for groups, you know, Nigerians in the USA, or Kenyans in the USA, or Ghanaians in Houston, right? And those groups exist. And then because you have a product that they are looking for, what do? You post your product, you become a member of the group, and you begin to post your product there. I have a customer today, somebody that we have helped build her business, who used this method, right? She was able to go into one of those groups, and the owner of 3 African stores was in one of those groups. And the person reached out to her and said, look, I see you have some nice products that I want to sell in my store. And she started buying from her. Today, that lady does about $20,000 if you convert it every single month, selling to this one customer. So again, there are unique ways to do this. You just have to, continue searching, continue working, and that's why I call it multi-channel sales. Don't just stop by selling on Amazon. While your product is there, pushing its way through Amazon, you're selling online, you're looking for direct to customers. Use any of the 7 ways that I talked about. And I can tell you for a fact, you will hit your target.
We have our presence in nothing less than 6 states in the US, 20 African stores across the states in the US.
We sold off everything we had. Mr. Nduka connected us to African stores.
I've covered the 3 ways, the prepare, whereby you're determining the right product to find the right product that is in demand, the send, where you are using a reliable delivery company to sell, and then the sell, where you are, expanding, selling in multiple channels, right? So again, I will tell you one thing for a fact. All these things are not going to work if you sit down and you do nothing, right? You need to take action. You need to get up there and work. You need to practicalize these things, right? I've already shown you how to identify the right products to sell. Go out there, subscribe to Helium 10 or to Jungle Scout, or even use the free version. The free version gives you a limited number of searches per day. Use it, right? Figure out those products that are in demand. Figure out a delivery company, and then use any of the 7 methods that I've shown you how to expand your buyers out there and use it. Again, like I say, you have to work. I remember a saying by Estee Lauder, the billionaire cosmetic owner. She said, I never dreamt of success. I worked for it. A lot of us sit down and we're dreaming and hoping, I'm going to be No, you have to work for it, right? Mahatma Gandhi said the future depends on what you do today. So again, get out there and start practicalizing this. And for those of you who want to find more products, right, I have a series I did right here on my channel called 30 Days Amazon Challenge. And in 30 days, I broke down various products that are in high demand that you can sell abroad. So check out those videos up there. And again, for those of you learning how to ship, you want to know the right way to ship in large quantity, I also have a video right there for it. So again, I wish you the best, and tell me your success. If you hit that $10,000 mark, come here, post me a comment, send me an email. And again, if you are not following this channel, be sure to subscribe. See you soon.